Yo, what is happening, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Fighting channel. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail today, we will be giving our predictions for the Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva fight. Now, I was supposed to be making content leading up to this on maybe the face-off, the weigh-in, all of that, but I've been so busy and so fucking tired. I've seen them, but I didn't have time to make content. I'm sorry. But we're here to give our final prediction because the fight literally is tonight, and I'm going to be speaking here and saying, what are the things that I think Jake Paul could do to win? What are the things I think Anderson Silva could do to win? But who do I actually think is going to win? That's what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be trying to cover all different angles so we have a better understanding of how this fight is going to go. And I want you to let me know in the comments below your predictions, what you think is going to happen, what you think could happen, what favors who, and let me know down below. But let's get into the fucking predictions. Alright, so obviously it is 8 rounds. Anderson Silva, the UFC GOAT, to a lot of people, considered the greatest of all time, which I think is a fair case. Then you have Jake Paul, a self-made YouTuber who transformed into boxing, beat Deji, went into boxing, beat Gibb, beat Nate Robinson, beat Ben Askren, beat Tyron Woodley twice. Now he is fighting Anderson Silva. Now, how is this fight going to go? That is the question. Is it going to be a boxing match? Is it going to be a brawl? Who knows? What favors who? Anderson Silva, obviously being a UFC fighter and all that, although he is a very good striker, he's transitioned to boxing very, very well. And he's basically showed his skills in every boxing match that he has been in there enough. He's only been in a few, but he showed his skills. Like I said, combat sports GOAT, has all the experience. What is he? 40 something years old. He's way on. So obviously Jake has the youth in him. He has the fact that he's younger. He's probably, I wouldn't say more athletic, but he has more energy, more energy to put into his craft than Anderson Silva does. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of tape on Anderson Silva showing what he could do, showing what his strengths are, showing what his weaknesses are. Jake Paul doesn't really have that much. He's only had the 5 fights, and he hasn't really shown too much in those 5 fights, to be fair. But, 8-round fight, like I said. Jake Paul in the first time with the fight, we saw him gas out a little bit. He still ended up winning in the end. Anderson Silva, I don't know how his gas tank's going to be with 8 rounds being at this age. But if it does go 8 rounds, who do I think win? If it goes decision, I see Anderson Silva winning if it goes to decision. If it goes by late TKO, I see possibly Anderson Silva winning by late TKO. If it ends by knockout, I see Jake Paul winning by knockout. And you see a lot of people are going to be pissed off, probably. Jake has somehow now become the favourite. But a lot of people are probably still going to be pissed off if you pick Jake to win. And I'll say this. What does Jake have in his arsenal that helps him beat a guy like Anderson Silva? He has that one punch. Now, I said it before. I said in my previous video. Do I see Jake Paul outboxing Anderson Silva? Not for a goddamn second. I don't see him outboxing Anderson Silva for a goddamn second. In my mind, that's not possible. I don't think it's going to happen. I think if it is, it's a 0.001% chance. And that's no disrespect to Jake, but it's just the simple fact of Anderson Silva has so much experience. And Jake only started boxing, 4 years ago? Yes, he has made a lot of improvements since then. But there's some things that you can only get with time and experience. There's some things that you need to do it for a long period of time to get. For example, the awareness. Jake Paul's awareness will not be as high as Anderson Silva. Say Jake Paul gets fatigued. He showed it in the Tyron Woodley fight. When he got fatigued, it was obvious he did. Tyron Woodley went in them. The only thing is Tyron Woodley also got a little bit fatigued, so it didn't help. But when he gets fatigued against Anderson Silva has that experience. He knows exactly what to do when Jake gets fatigued, and he knows how to finish him. If Anderson Silva gets fatigued, he has the experience and the knowledge to know, right, I can hide this a little bit. This is the way I should fight. I'm going to clinch like this, wear him down. I'm going to do this. He knows how to hide it, and not only that, but take advantage of it and make sure that if Jake goes, he's fatigued and comes in for the kill, he can adjust himself where he doesn't have to use as much energy, but he will be landing more shots and hoping that Jake comes in with his hands down and lands those heavy shots. That's what Anderson Silva will do if he gets fatigued. But Jake has a chance to win this. If Jake wins this, it's fucking big for Jake. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, we don't want to see him fight Anderson Silva, want to see him fight a real boxer, want to see him fight Tommy Fury. I still stand by my point. I think this is a bigger test than Tommy Fury. The reason being, Tommy Fury's a bigger guy, yes. And Tommy Fury's one of those ones that I think when it comes to blow for blow, when it comes to power for power, is a bigger test for Jake than Anderson Silva. But when it comes to the skill gap, Anderson Silva is a far, far, far better opponent for Jake Paul. And the reason being is Jake has had a slow start all of his fights, you know. We'll say he's knocked out all of them, but he's had a slow start. Right? I think the only fights he started off fast on was the Nate Robinson and the Gibb. The Ben Askren one he finished quick, but it's not like he was right in there. The two Tyron Woodley fights he started very slow, but he won in the end. You know what I mean? But if he starts slow, which he's probably going to, Anderson Silva's probably going to come out, start fast, land those shots, change angles, keep hitting those shots, rack up points, and I can see Anderson Silva taking about the first two, possibly 3 rounds, but definitely the first 2 rounds on just points, outboxing them, showing his skill, showing all that. Jake is going to have to do what he did against Tyron Woodley, which I believe against Tyron Woodley in the second fight, Jake was down, he was losing the fight, then he landed that big shot. I think Jake is going to be pushed back by Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva is going to be up on the scorecards. Jake's going to have to fight back, and that's going to be the biggest test for Jake. That's going to be him overcoming adversity. He's going to have to see if he can overcome that, because this isn't Tyron Woodley. No disrespect to Tyron Woodley, but this isn't Tyron Woodley. This is Anderson Silva. I know a lot of people will be like, yeah, but Anderson Silva's old now. That's why I think Jake has a chance of winning this, because Anderson Silva's old. But it's still Anderson fucking Silva. You gotta understand that. It's Anderson fucking Silva. So I think Jake's gonna have to fight back. I think he's gonna have to do that. He's probably just gonna have to basically find his range, find adjustments the first 2 to 3 rounds. Like I said, he has thousands of hours of tape on Anderson Silva to learn all this. And I think that Anderson Silva's going to take the first 2, 3. Jake has to just kind of accept he can have the first 2, 3. Because once I get up, I'm going to be a freight train, and I'm not going to stop until either I knock him out or the final bell. That needs to be Jake's mindset. I do not see Jake getting in there and knocking him out within the first 2 rounds. I don't see it. Unless he lands a lucky punch, you never know. But if it goes decision, I see Anderson Silva winning. If it's late TKO, I can see it either way. Maybe Anderson Silva. If it is a knockout, early, mid-fight, I can see Jake Paul winning. Like I said, this is really just experience versus youth. Jake has the youth. Jake has the power. You know, when it comes to boxing, he's not on the level of Anderson Silva, but he's improved a lot for not boxing that long, and he has that one-punch knockout, like we've said. Jake could be Jake could be fighting 12 rounds and losing all 11, but he might still land that one big punch in the 12th round. And you got to remember, it doesn't matter if he was losing those 11 rounds. If he lands that one big punch and knocks him out, he wins the fight. So those previous rounds don't matter. And I think that's what Jake understands. Jake understands that if I go down a few rounds, that's okay, because I will position myself to knock Anderson Silva out. And that is, you know, hopefully he has a better mindset if he wants to go out there and win every round and not give it up to Silva. So then it'll be a more competitive fight, hopefully. Because I think that he might make it a wee bit difficult for Anderson Silva, because he's obviously bigger. He's going to be stronger. If he gets in the clinch, I'd say he probably, I don't know if he weighs more than Anderson Silva actually, but I'd say Jake would probably, you know, weaken you down if he's leaning on you like he did with Tyron Woodley. But I would like to see Jake go out there and get it, but I know he does rely on that one punch. But that is my breakdown. Decision Anderson, knockout Jake Paul, TKO possibly either way. Experience versus youth. Who's going to win? Now, I'm in 2 minds here. I cannot see Jake Paul losing yet. I can't. I said it with Ben Askren. I knew he was going to beat Ben Askren. I said it with Tyron Woodley. I said, yes, Tyron Woodley is Tyron Woodley. But I said I cannot picture Jake Paul losing. Yeah, I said it when he was going to fight Tommy Fury. I said I feel like Tommy Fury's the better boxer, but I just can't envision Jake Paul losing at this point. It's too early. I just can't picture it. I still cannot picture it. But at the same time, I don't see Jake losing by a shit ton. I see Anderson Silva winning this fight. I'll say that. I see Anderson Silva winning this fight by decision. That's the way I see it. I think it's going to go. I think Jake's going to get a little fatigued. I think he might get in trouble. Anderson Silva might put him into deep waters, but I think Jake's going to be able to hold on and clinch him and possibly go that distance. If Anderson Silva, obviously, he has experience again. If Jake starts to clinch him, Anderson Silva, if he challenges that experience and he has the energy, he might be able to wiggle his way out of that, land a couple shots that Jake's not thinking of. So, but I think Jake will be able to hold on. Anderson Silva will win by decision. And you know what? Jake Paul loses to Anderson Silva by decision. I don't even think it's that bad. Jake Paul did say one thing that I heavily agree with. He said, "Don't judge me by my wins, judge me by my losses." And basically what he means by that is everybody has their highs. You know, you could judge people by how they are whenever they're at the top, but you got to judge them by how they are whenever they lose. Because we've seen Deontay Wilder, for example. Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury, and he was just a poor sport. He wouldn't give credit to Tyson Fury. He was making up all these excuses, and you don't respect that. If you lose, it's okay to lose, as long as you turn that L into learning. And that's, if Jake does lose, that is what I'm excited to see. How does Jake handle the loss? Does he learn from it? Is he going to make excuses? Who knows? But I got Anderson Silva by decision. Like I said, let me know in the comments below your predictions. This video is probably a bit longer than I imagined, but let me know in the comments below your predictions. If Jake wins, how do you think so? If Anderson Silva wins, how do you think so? But who do you think is going to win overall? How do you think the fight's going to go? Because I'm interested in having that conversation. But yes, I'm excited for the fight. I'm cheering for Anderson Silva. I'm hoping Anderson Silva wins. But you know what? If Jake pulls it off, fair fucking play. Fair play. But hey, hope you all enjoyed the video as always. Hope you all think positive, test negative. Hope you all have an amazing day. Stay safe. Enjoy the fight. And I'll see you in the next one. So, peace. Fearless.